The rain poured heavily across the city of Lagos, turning the streets into rivers of headlights and reflections. People rushed beneath umbrellas. Taxi drivers shouted. Street vendors dragged their carts beneath leaking rooftops. And in the middle of it all stood a man worth over $200 million, pretending he had nowhere to go. Ethan Cole adjusted the faded hoodie on his shoulders and stared at the small roadside restaurant across the street. To everyone passing by, he looked ordinary, maybe even broke. His sneakers were worn out on purpose. His wristwatch a cheap imitation. The old motorcycle parked nearby had been bought from a mechanic 2 months ago for less than the cost of a single dinner at one of his hotels. No one would ever guess that Ethan owned one of the largest real estate companies in the country. No one would ever guess he had once been engaged to a woman who cried tears of love in public while secretly signing documents to steal shares from his company. That betrayal had changed him forever. Since then, wealth no longer felt like power. It felt like bait. The restaurant door opened suddenly. A woman stepped out carrying 2 bags of leftover bread. She wore a simple black apron and looked exhausted, but there was something strangely warm about her face. She noticed Ethan standing in the rain. "You've been there for almost 20 minutes, she said carefully. "Are you waiting for someone?" Ethan looked up. Her eyes were tired but kind. "No," he replied. "You'll get sick. I've survived worse." She studied him for a second. Then she sighed. "Come inside before my boss thinks I'm running a homeless shelter." A small smile escaped Ethan before he could stop it. And somehow, that smile changed both their lives forever. Inside the restaurant, warm air wrapped around Ethan's cold skin. The place was small but cozy. Old yellow lights hung from the ceiling. A radio played softly in the background. The woman handed him a towel. "Dry your face." "Thank you." "You hungry?" "Uttle." She disappeared briefly and returned with a bowl of hot noodles. "I can't pay right now," Ethan warned. "That's okay," she replied casually. "You can pay whenever life stops being wicked." He laughed quietly. That surprised her. "You have a nice laugh," she said without thinking. Ethan froze slightly. It had been years since anyone had spoken to him so naturally. Without calculation, without fear, without trying to impress him. "What's your name?" he asked. "Maya." "Maya what?" "Maya Bennett." He nodded slowly. "I'm Ethan." "Well, Ethan," she said, crossing her arms, "you look like a man carrying too many problems." "You can tell. I work with customers all day. People reveal themselves when they're tired. And what do I reveal?" Her expression softened. "Loneliness." The word hit him harder than expected. Because she was right. Maya worked 2 jobs. Morning shifts at the restaurant, night shifts at a bookstore, and somehow she still found energy to smile at strangers. Ethan learned this over the next few weeks as he kept returning to the restaurant, always dressed simply, always pretending to struggle financially. And every time he visited, Maya treated him exactly the same. No judgment, no pit, no fake admiration. Just kind. One evening, Ethan found her outside after closing hours, arguing with a landlord over the phone. "I said I'll pay next week." She snapped. Silence. Then her face fell. "Please don't throw our things outside. My mother isn't well." The call ended. Maya leaned against the wall and closed her eyes. Ethan approached carefully. "Everything okay?" She forced a smile. "Of course." That didn't sound convincing. She laughed bitterly. "Life is expensive." Ethan hesitated. For a moment, he almost offered money, but he stopped himself. Because the entire reason he created this fake life was to know who loved him before discovering his wealth. So instead he asked softly, "Want company?" Something in his voice made her nod. That night, they walked through the city together beneath flickering streetlights. And for the first time in years, Ethan felt human again. Chapter 2. The Woman Who Saw Him. Maya lived in a tiny apartment on the edge of the city with her sick mother. The ceiling leaked during storms. The refrigerator barely worked. Yet somehow the place still felt warm. Mostly because of Maya. You can sit, she told Ethan one evening after inviting him over for dinner. Her mother, Elena Bennett, smiled weakly from the couch. So this is Ethan. Yes, Maya replied, the mysterious friend who never talks about himself. Ethan chuckled nervously. There's not much to tell. That's usually what people with the biggest stories say. Elena replied knowingly. Dinner was simple rice and stew. But Ethan couldn't remember the last time he enjoyed a meal this much. At his mansion, chefs prepared expensive dishes daily. Yet he usually ate alone. Silence surrounding him like prison walls. Here, Maya laughed at burnt vegetables. Her mother teased her constantly, and Ethan found himself smiling more than he had in years. After dinner, Maya walked him downstairs. You don't have to keep feeding me, he said. You say that every time, and you ignore me every time. Exactly. They both laughed. Then suddenly Maya became serious. You know, most people disappear when life gets hard. Ethan looked at her carefully. But you don't, she continued. Even though you barely have anything yourself. Guilt twisted inside him. If only she knew. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And slowly, Ethan fell in love. Not because Maya was perfect, but because she was real. She cried when overwhelmed, got angry when tired, sang terribly while cleaning tables, and cared deeply about everyone around her. One afternoon at the bookstore, Ethan found Maya helping a little boy buy a novel. You can take it, she told him quietly. But I don't have enough money. You can pay next time. The boy smiled brightly and hugged the book. After he left, Ethan stared at Maya. You do that often. Do what? Help people when you're struggling yourself. She shrugged. I know what it feels like when nobody helps. That answer stayed in Ethan's mind all night. Meanwhile, danger slowly approached from another direction. At Cole Enterprises, the board of directors was becoming restless. Their CEO had practically vanished from public life. Ethan attended meetings remotely, avoided interviews, ignored social events, and rumors were spreading fast. Some claimed he was mentally unstable. Others believed he had secretly married. But one person was especially furious. Vanessa Hart est un ex-fiancé, beautiful, manipulative, and still obsessed with reclaiming him. You're telling me nobody knows where he is? She asked coldly during a meeting with a private investigator. Mr. Cole changes locations frequently. Vanessa narrowed her eyes. He's hiding from the world. She smiled slowly. But eventually, he'll make a mistake. Chapter 3. Love begins quietly. Love didn't arrive dramatically for Ethan and Maya. It arrived softly. In shared meals. Late-night conversations. Inside laughter. Inside silence. One evening, the city lost power during a storm. The restaurant became dark except for candlelight. Customers left early. Maya sat across from Ethan near the window. Rain hammered against the glass. What were you like as a child? She asked. Ethan leaned back. Lonely. Said fast. It's the truth. You had no friends. Mostly business, tutors and security guards. Maya blinked. That sounds rich. Ethan nearly choked on his drink. He recovered quickly. I meant emotionally rich. She narrowed her eyes suspiciously. You're weird sometimes. If you knew the real me, you'd probably run away. Try, Emmy. Ethan stared at her. Serial Emmy. The words echoed painfully, because he wanted to tell her everything. But fear stopped him. Fear that the moment Maya discovered the truth, she would change too. Just like everyone else. A week later, Maya invited Ethan to her birthday dinner. It's small, she warned. Perfect. Only a few friends attended. One of them, Derek, immediately disliked Ethan. Derek had secretly loved Maya for years, and watching her smile at another man irritated him deeply. So what do you do for work? Derek asked bluntly. Freelance jobs, Ethan answered casually. What kind? Different things. Derek smirked. That means unemployed. Maya shot him a warning glance. Relax. But Derek wasn't finished. You know Maya deserves stability, right? The table became quiet. Ethan calmly met Derek's stare. "And what exactly are you implying?" "I'm saying some people are distractions." Maya slammed her fork down. "That's enough." Derek raised his hands innocently. But the tension remained. Later that night, Ethan stood outside the apartment building preparing to leave. "I'm sorry about Derek," Maya said. "You don't owe me an apology. He thinks you'll hurt me." Ethan looked away. "What if he's right?" Maya stepped closer. "You know what I think." "What?" "I think you're hiding pain, not bad intentions." Her voice softened. "And I trust my instincts." Those words terrified Ethan more than anything else, because he was beginning to realize he could lose her. And the deeper he fell in love, the more dangerous the truth became. Chapter 4. The secret starts cracking. 3 months later, Ethan's double life became harder to maintain. His assistant, Marcus Reed, met him secretly at an abandoned parking garage downtown. "You missed another shareholder dinner," Marcus complained. "Oh, you can't keep disappearing." "I'm handling things." Marcus stared at him carefully. "No, you're hiding." Ethan remained silent. Marcus lowered his voice. "Sis woman, does she know?" "Oh, and when exactly do you plan to tell her you own half the city?" Ethan rubbed his face tiredly. "You wouldn't understand." "I understand perfectly," Marcus replied. "You're afraid." Before Ethan could respond, another car entered the garage. Black SUV. Marcus frowned immediately. "That's not good." Vanessa stepped out elegantly. Her heels echoed against the concrete floor. "Well," she said slowly, "this explains everything." Ethan's jaw tightened. "How did you find me?" "You underestimate how determined I can be." Her eyes scanned Ethan's cheap clothes with amusement. "You're playing poor now." Marcus cursed under his breath. Vanessa walked closer. "You vanished for months because of some fantasy. It's none of your business." "Oh, but it is," she replied coldly. "Especially when shareholders start panicking." Then her expression changed. "There's a woman involved, isn't there?" Ethan said nothing. Vanessa smiled dangerously. "This should be interesting." That same evening, Maya accidentally discovered Ethan's expensive cufflinks hidden inside his backpack. They were engraved with the initials EC, and definitely not cheap. When Ethan returned, she held them up carefully. "You forgot these." For a split second, panic flashed across his face. Maya noticed. "Where did you get them?" "A friend gave them to me." "What kind of friend gives jewelry worth thousands?" Ethan forced a laugh. "You watched too many detective movies." But Maya didn't laugh. Something felt wrong. For the first time since meeting him, she doubted him. Later that night, Maya sat awake unable to sleep. Pieces of Ethan suddenly replayed differently in her mind. The way he spoke, his posture, the expensive vocabulary he sometimes accidentally used, the strange phone calls he always avoided near her, the scars on his hands that looked more like stress than labor. Who was he really? And why did it suddenly feel like she barely knew him at all? Chapter 6. Everything falls apart. For weeks, Maya ignored Ethan completely. No calls, no messages, nothing. Meanwhile, the media exploded. Photos of Ethan's secret life leaked online. Headlines spread everywhere. Billionaire CEO living as a poor man. Who is the mystery woman? Reporters began stalking Maya. People suddenly treated her differently. Friends accused her of secretly chasing wealth. Customers whispered at her workplace. Her landlord suddenly became polite. Everything changed overnight. And Maya hated it. At Cole Enterprises, chaos erupted. Shareholders demanded explanations. Business rivals mocked Ethan publicly. Vanessa fueled every scandal she could. "You're emotionally compromised," she told Ethan during a heated meeting. "You leaked those photos." She smiled. "Prove it." Marcus eventually pulled Ethan aside. "You need to fix this before you lose both the company and the girl." Ethan looked exhausted. "She hates me. She's hurt. There's a difference." Meanwhile, Maya struggled emotionally. Part of her felt betrayed. But another part missed him terribly. Because despite the lies, The moments they shared felt real. One night, Elena spoke gently from her hospital bed. "You love him." Maya looked away. "I loved the version of him I knew. People are complicated." "He manipulated me." "Yes," Elena admitted softly. "But pain makes people do foolish things." Maya wiped tears angrily. "You're taking his side." "I'm taking love's side." That same night, Ethan stood alone inside his penthouse staring at the city skyline. The mansion felt emptier than ever. He replayed Maya's laughter in his mind, the way she looked at him before learning the truth. And for the first time in years, being rich felt completely worthless. Then Marcus entered quietly. "There's something you should know." Ethan turned. Marcus hesitated. "Vanessa is trying to buy controlling shares from angry investors." Ethan narrowed his eyes. "She wants the company, and she's using your scandal to weaken you." Ethan's expression darkened dangerously. For the first time since falling in love, the ruthless billionaire inside him woke up again. Chapter 7. The truth beneath the lies. Maya finally agreed to meet Ethan after weeks of silence. Only because Elena insisted. "You deserve answers," her mother said. So Maya arrived reluctantly at a quiet rooftop cafe. Ethan stood when he saw her. He looked terrible. Tired. Unshaven. Broken. For several seconds, neither spoke. Then Maya finally sat down. "You have 10 minutes. Ethan nodded slowly. "I never meant to hurt you." "You already said that." "I'll." He inhaled deeply. "When I was 29, I got engaged to Vanessa." Maya remained silent. "She loved my lifestyle, my connections, my money, not me." Pain flickered across his face. "I found documents proving she planned to manipulate company shares through marriage." Maya frowned slightly. "So you decided every woman would do the same?" "No," Ethan admitted quietly. "I decided I didn't know how to trust anymore." He looked directly at her. "Then I met you." Something in his voice made Maya's chest ache. "You treated me with kindness before knowing anything about me. You still lied." "Yes, and that matters." "I know." Silence settled again. Then Ethan said softly, "But my feelings for you were real from the very beginning." Maya's eyes became emotional despite herself. "I wanted to tell you the truth 100 times. Why didn't you?" "Because every day I waited, the harder it became." For the first time since the betrayal, Maya saw not a billionaire, but a frightened man. A man terrified of being unloved. Still, trust once broken wasn't easily repaired. "You should have trusted me enough to tell me," she whispered. Ethan lowered his eyes. "You're right." As Maya prepared to leave, Ethan stopped her gently. "One last thing." She turned. "I'm stepping down temporarily from the company." Her eyes widened. "What?" "I need to fix the damage." "And Vanessa?" "She's trying to destroy me." Maya studied him carefully. Then suddenly she noticed bruises near his wrist. "What happened?" Ethan hesitated. "Nothing." But Maya knew immediately he was lying again. And somehow, that frightened her more than before. Chapter 8. The enemy strikes. Vanessa had become desperate. Ethan, rejecting her, publicly humiliated her. And humiliation turned her cruel. One evening, Maya was leaving the bookstore when a black car followed her slowly. Her heartbeat quickened. The car stopped. The window rolled down. Vanessa smiled coldly from inside. "You should stay away from Ethan." Maya stiffened. "Excuse me? You're making things difficult. I'm not involved in your games." Vanessa laughed softly. "You really think this is love?" Maya said nothing. Vanessa leaned closer. "Men like Ethan don't change. They only get bored." The words struck painfully because part of Maya feared they might be true. Then Vanessa delivered the final blow. "He'll always choose power over you." The car drove away. But the damage remained. Meanwhile, Ethan discovered shocking news. Marcus entered his office urgently. "You need to see this." He handed Ethan a folder. Inside were forged documents. Vanessa had manipulated financial records to frame Ethan for illegal transactions. If this reaches the media, it'll destroy everything, Marcus finished grimly. Ethan clenched his jaw. She's declaring war. That same night, Maya received another anonymous message. This time it contained photos of Ethan hugging Vanessa during a recent meeting. The angle looked intimate. Maya's heart sank. Without context, it looked like betrayal. And Vanessa knew exactly what she was doing. When Ethan finally arrived at Maya's apartment later that evening, she exploded. "So you're back with her now?" Ethan blinked in confusion. "What? Don't pretend." She showed him the photos. Realization hit instantly. Maya, she manipulated this. Just like you manipulated me? That's not fair, isn't it? Ethan stepped closer desperately. "I love you. You keep saying that while hiding things." "Maya, I'm tired." The exhaustion in her voice hurt more than anger. "I don't know what's real anymore." Ethan looked shattered. But before he could speak again, Maya quietly closed the door in his face. Ends his timer. He feared it might truly be over. Chapter 9. The Revelation. 3 days later, Cole Enterprises held its annual gala. The most powerful people in the country attended. Media cameras flashed endlessly. Rumors about Ethan dominated every conversation. Would he resign? Was he guilty? Was Vanessa taking over? No one knew. Then suddenly the ballroom doors opened. Ethan entered wearing a black suit. Confident, cold, powerful. The entire room went silent. Maya watched from home on television, unable to look away. This version of Ethan felt completely different from the man who ate noodles at her restaurant. This Ethan commanded rooms effortlessly, feared nothing. Vanessa approached him smoothly. "You look nervous." Ethan smiled faintly. "You should be." Before she could respond, Ethan walked onto the stage. Microphones flashed, cameras focused, and then Ethan spoke. "For months, my personal life has become public entertainment." The room listened carefully. "I accept responsibility for the deception surrounding my identity." Maya's chest tightened. "But tonight," Ethan continued, "I will not allow lies to destroy innocent people." Screens behind him suddenly lit up. Documents appeared. Bank transfers. Recorded calls. Evidence. Vanessa's face slowly lost color. Ethan's voice became sharper. "These records prove deliberate corporate fraud and attempted financial manipulation conducted by Vanessa Hart." Gasps spread across the ballroom. Vanessa stood abruptly. "You planned this." "No," Ethan replied calmly. "You planned this." Security moved toward her. "This is ridiculous," she shouted. But then another voice interrupted. Marcus stepped forward holding additional evidence, including recorded conversations. The room erupted into chaos. Reporters rushed everywhere. Vanessa stared at Ethan with pure hatred. "You chose that girl over everything." Ethan's answer came instantly. "Yes." Watching from home, Maya felt tears fill her eyes. Because for the first time, Ethan wasn't hiding anymore. Chapter 10. The final choice. After the gala scandal, Vanessa was arrested for fraud investigations. Cole Enterprises stabilized. The media slowly moved on, but Ethan still felt empty, because none of it mattered without Maya. So one final time, he went to see her. Maya stood outside the restaurant after closing hours when she noticed the familiar motorcycle approaching. Not the luxury cars, not the billionaire image. Just Ethan, the man she first met in the rain. He removed his helmet slowly. "I figured this version of me had better chances." Despite herself, Maya almost smiled. "Almost. What do you want?" "The truth." She crossed her arms. "You finally discovered it." "No," he said softly. "I finally stopped running from it." Silence lingered between them. Then Ethan continued. "I spent years believing money ruined every relationship." Maya listened quietly. "But loving you made me realize something." "What?" "The problem wasn't wealth." He stepped closer carefully. "It was fear." Her eyes became emotional. "I was afraid nobody could love me genuinely. And now I know someone did. Maya looked away quickly. Because hearing that hurt. You broke my trust, Ethan. And trust isn't magic. He swallowed hard. But if love means anything, maybe people deserve chances to grow. Tears filled Maya's eyes again. Because despite everything, she still loved him. And that was the hardest part. I hated you, she whispered shakily. Ethan nodded painfully. But even while hating you, I missed you. Something broke inside him hearing that. I missed you every second. Maya laughed weakly through tears. You're still dramatic. You made me dramatic. For the first time in weeks, she smiled fully. And Ethan looked at her like a starving man finally seeing sunlight. Then Maya asked the question that mattered most. If I never forgave you, what would you do? Ethan answered honestly. Spend the rest of my life regretting it. Silence. Then Maya slowly stepped closer. You really scared me, I was scared too. That's not an excuse. I know. She stared into his eyes for several long seconds. Searching, measuring, trying to decide whether the man before her was finally real. And somehow, she believed he was. Not perfect, not flawless, but real, finally real. Rain began falling softly again, just like the night they met. Maya laughed quietly. Why does every important moment with you involve rain? Maybe the universe likes drama too. She shook her head, smiling. Then, finally, she kissed him. Not because everything was magically fixed. Not because trust instantly returned. But because love had survived long enough to deserve another chance. Ethan held her carefully like someone holding the most fragile thing in the world. And for the first time in years, the billionaire who had everything finally understood what truly made a person rich. Not money, not power, not status, but being loved completely, even after the truth is revealed. Epilogue. 1 year later, the restaurant became bigger. Maya eventually owned it herself after. Ethan secretly helped her secure investors. This time, with complete honesty, Elena recovered slowly. Marcus became one of Maya's closest friends, and Ethan learned how to live without pretending. One evening, Maya stood on the balcony of their apartment watching the city lights. Ethan wrapped his arms around her gently. What are you thinking about? He asked. She smiled softly. That poor man I met in the rain. Ethan laughed. He was a disaster. He was lonely. And stubborn. Very stubborn. He kissed her forehead. You saved him. Maya turned toward him. No, she whispered lovingly. You saved yourself the moment you finally told the truth. Below them, rain began falling over the glowing city once again. But this time, neither of them was alone anymore.